right, y'all, so y'all know it's a lot of fluff in these internet streets, but I am back to put y'all on game. Let's discuss, are passive income plays really passive? Let's get into it. All right, so like I said, if we are getting started and we're looking for passive income, right, there's a few things that you want to be knowledgeable of before you jump into the game, okay? Over the most recent years, we've been seeing a lot of passive income plays, which may have included short-term rentals like Airbnb or PeerSpace. We've seen a lot of discussion around TURO or just renting out cars and starting your own fleet. We've seen Amazon stores, Walmart stores, all these different ideas, which are great business models, by the way. But if you're looking for something passive, you have to know exactly what you're getting into, guys. I'm Nadi Hafiza. I am the CEO of the company Connect, where we help entrepreneurs start, fund, and grow their business to 6 figures or more, and we do that by leveraging credit. So let's get into it. My husband and I actually got 2 Kia K5s in 2021. They were the brand new ones, so we got the 2022 versions, and we got them to actually rent out. Now, one of the differences in what we did versus what a lot of entrepreneurs are doing starting off, or just people who are looking for passive income, is we partnered on this venture. Okay, so we have a joint venture partner. Now, there's a reason that we did this. Typically, people will get vehicles and they will rent them out through platforms like TURO, okay, which can be extremely lucrative. However, with TURO, typically these are people who are traveling into the city, they're getting a car for maybe a few days at a time, and then they're giving it right back to you, hopefully in good shape. You're getting it turned over and ready for the next guest, and so on and so forth, right? If you have 10 cars, can you imagine what that looks like? Seriously, guys, you have to clean the car, you have to maintenance the car, you have to make sure, like, Lord forbid if the people get into a car accident or a wreck while they have your vehicle, right? Now you got to deal with the insurance claims. So is TURO really passive? I don't know, right? There's someone else that has to do that work. And that's why my husband and I actually partnered with a joint venture partner. So the way that our deal works is we work with our partner. We purchase the cars. Of course, if anything happens with the cars, he lets us know, but those cars are in his possession 99% of the time. And when I say his possession, I really mean like they're rented out all of the time. So we don't even see the cars, guys. We have 1 Kia K5, and I'll insert some pictures of the cars somewhere on the screen here. But we have 2 Kia K5. So one of them has a red interior. And people love that car, guys. I mean, literally, we just had a renter who had it for 9 months. 9 months straight. So y'all, we don't see these cars. So for us, this is a very lucrative passive income play, but it's only passive because we partnered with someone who loves that business and doesn't mind putting in the work and the team that's needed to keep that business model sustainable and running, okay? So our partner takes care of the bookings. He actually only rents the cars out to Uber drivers. Now, that's a banger. Okay, he only rents them out to Uber drivers. And the reason that he does that is because Uber drivers, this is their place of work, right? So they're willing to pay a little more for nicer cars that they're going to keep for a long extended period of time, right? They're not going to be switching a car every 2 to 3 days because they need the car for weeks or months at a time to make their money. They want to have a nice vehicle to drive around in. Maybe they just have like a 2010 or something at home, but when they're making their money to get tips, to get people raving about their experience, they want those newer vehicles to drive these people around. Like, we're in Metro Atlanta, so a lot of the Uber drivers are picking people up from the airport that are traveling in from other countries, other cities. They're coming to kick it, right? So they want to have a nice experience for those guests, and that's where this partnership comes into play. So we enjoy partnering with him because we don't have to worry about the turnover of the car. We don't have to worry about rent, like literally finding the renters, vetting the renters to make sure that they have insurance, to make sure that their IDs, their license and everything is good. We don't touch any of that, guys. And so it's been such a blessing, and it has been passive for us because we were able to do it in that manner. Now, if you're just jumping into TURO, you need to think about that, okay? You have to think about who is helping you to man these cars. If you have multiple vehicles, where are you storing all of these vehicles when they're not being rented out? Are they piling up in your driveway? Are they being parked on the street? Do you have an apartment complex that's safe where they can be parked at, or where your guests can pick them up from unless you're offering a drop-off service? Are you doing that drop-off service? Like, there's so many working pieces that you have to consider when you decide to do car rentals, for example, okay? The next example that I'm gonna give you guys is with Airbnb. So we actually did have an Airbnb for 2 years, and in the beginning it was extremely lucrative. I wanna say we were probably grossing about $3,500 a month on that property. So we only had one Airbnb. We considered getting a second one, but when we first got to Atlanta, it was early 2021. We're coming fresh out of COVID, okay? And Atlanta did not shut down. So because Atlanta was still open, there were a lot of people that were traveling here because they could still go out, they could have fun, they could enjoy themselves while they were on furlough from work or whatever was happening, collecting unemployment, who knows? We all went through it, okay? So our Airbnb did really, really well that first year. I wanna say, like I said, $3,500 a month, so gross revenue is probably about $42,000. Now, did we physically run everything for the Airbnb? No, but we still had to put in some work. So very different from our car rentals. With the Airbnb, we actually did manage the bookings. So we would vet the guests. We would make sure that they were aware of the house rules. If they had any issues using our August lock to get into the space, like, we had to get on the phones and walk them through how to do that. We did outsource like the cleaning and maintenance of the actual Airbnb. So doing the turnover, we used the app called Turnover Airbnb, where we could actually find people who would come in and clean, you know, basically place a bet to book to actually clean your place for you. So Turnover BNB was great for that. So we didn't have to worry about like the cleaning and maintenance and things, but we did have to actually talk to the guests. Of course, if there was anything going on with like the Wi-Fi or something happening in a building, we had to troubleshoot those things. And so it was pretty passive, but it wasn't 100% passive. Like, there is still some groundwork that has to be done. So again, if you are considering some passive income, just really do your research and understand what all goes into that specific business. Because although passive income is being thrown around a lot, you know, no matter what industry it's in, y'all, somebody is putting in work. Whether it's you or a team, depends on how you set it up, but someone is doing the work. So just make sure that you're clear on what time and effort you're willing to put into that venture versus what you need to outsource, right? There's nothing wrong with doing these different income plays. It's just that you have to be knowledgeable of what to expect and what's going to be required of you to get into it. So I hope this was helpful, guys. I'm gonna insert some videos of just our Airbnb, some pictures, so you guys can see what it looks like. We do not do Airbnb anymore, and if you're interested, let me know, and I'll go into a whole story time about why we let that thing go. But nonetheless, it is still a really great venture for some people, and I know some people who are killing it in the Airbnb space. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.